Hello and welcome to another episode of Feeding Fatty. This is Roy.
Terry here.
So we are the podcast, of course, chronicling my journey, our journey. We probably haven't done that as much as we should have been. We started and then we got really had a lot of interest with guests. And so one thing we're going to make a commitment to basically start, just doing some episodes with me and Terry Moore to basically put out there things we're doing, how we're feeling and what's going on in our life to, we just want to, if there's somebody out there, somebody else that's struggling out there, we want to be a resource for them and, get some conversation started. So I guess with that, let's just jump into, kind of what we're thinking about today.
Okay, well, Go ahead.
Okay. I don't know when it started, but it's been a while. I've been struggling up and down. We started eating a lot well balanced back in the fall of 2020, and then it just got to be such a struggle to cook that much, and we were spending 2 or 3 hours preparing food, and it just got to the point of craziness that and then our schedules, Terry was traveling and just first one thing and then another, and kind of got off whack, and I've had a rough time, and my sugar for the last month or so has just been my blood glucose has been outrageous, crazy, and it's just been hard to control no matter what I do. So anyway,
you want to remind everybody you are a type 2 diabetic.
Yeah.
And have been for how long?
Diagnosed for probably about 3 or 4 years.
Okay.
And I've done better. I've done better at times, but this last week I've had some sugar readings that were over 200, some of them approaching high 300, which is just not good at all. And I've never had that kind of trouble with it. Usually if I can watch my intake, I'm pretty good. But so anyway, some things kind of converge. We've been talking about this for a couple months about, protein and dairy, things like that.
Dietary things to help us get healthier as opposed to medication.
Yeah, and we're not, first off, we'll be clear, we're not doctors, dietitians, nutritionists. We're just people, we try to put different views out there. Everybody needs to find their own path, but we always recommend go to a physician, go to a registered dietitian, nutritionist, get some help. Don't do things on your own because things can go bad for you depending on what all's wrong. So anyway, first off, that disclaimer is to go try something. To go see a doctor. But anyway, we've been talking about this plant-based, and then we had a gentleman that we haven't aired the episode yet, but he. We have him as a guest on the show, and we started talking about a lot of things, and it was just interesting. It really reconfirmed a lot of things that we have heard other places, and so basically we've just decided to give it a try. We've gone pretty much totally plant-based. I think last week was a little more difficult. We still had, some beef and chicken in the fridge that we were working through. Yeah, cheese is a big one because that's a big trigger for me.
Eggs.
Snack food.
Yogurt.
Yeah, the cheese is always kind of a go-to. Whatever we ate had a ton of cheese in it or on it.
Cheese on it.
Yeah, or just as a snack. So anyway, but we've had good results. It's been, it's only been 2 weeks. Oh, and one thing I was going to say is we are still going to continue to air guests that have a wide range of views, just because this may not be for everybody. And so we're not trying to pigeonhole to say, hey, our way is the right way. We just want to say, here are some different thoughts and different things, and try to talk a lot about nutrition and
this
exercise.
Is the right way for us right now. I mean, we may decide later on that it's not, but this is what we're trying now. This is present.
Yeah, and that's it. Sustainability. We are searching for something that is sustainable for us to do. That's a combination of like today, she prepared some. We'll talk about that in a little bit, but she prepared a cool dish that took a little bit more preparation. But when we don't have time, we can eat raw vegetables and fruit and So the other thing that we're doing too, I think it's good to talk about, is this intermittent fasting. And so we have been fasting. We try to eat our last meal at 7 o'clock at night and then don't eat again till lunch. So far, today, it's Saturday. We had a full taping schedule, and I don't think we ended up eating until like 2 o'clock. So I wasn't starving or going out of my mind. Used to, prior to this, if we didn't eat breakfast by 7:30 or 8 o'clock, I thought I was going to pass out from lack of food. And so that's been, the nice thing about this is with this fasting, I've gotten where I can go till noon. Not saying I don't get a little hungry every now and then, but it's been, it hasn't been near what I thought it would be. And I feel like the other good thing is it makes me quit eating. So I'm not eating before bedtime, and then it makes it harder to get up in the morning. Just feeling full and sluggish waking up. And, now I've been waking up much earlier, feeling much better, being able to
You are popping out of bed.
Yeah.
Whereas before it was like, I think we've reversed roles for some reason, because I just want to stay in bed and get that last 30 minutes in. But you are just popping out and going.
Yeah, because I just got to a point that I would wake up in the morning and feel like I had a rock on my stomach, just so full and bloated from the night before, from whatever we ingested. And it wasn't always bad, but the quantity of it, and then of course, with me, beef, chicken, any kind of protein like that, it's always set heavy on my stomach. So anyway, it's been positive. The other thing, my working my blood sugar down, it's not awesome. Better this week than last. But the one thing I've noticed is the consistency is I have not had these humongous spikes, because used to even, when I tried more of a higher protein, low carb, I would still get some spikes through the day. And now we're eating probably, we're not even tracking, but I'm sure we're eating a lot more carbs than what I was eating. But it's because we're mixing it with fiber. Some things we've learned, along the way, I think too, is that most people don't get enough fiber if they're not careful. And anyway,
we're getting that.
Yeah, yeah, we are. Yeah, we are.
It's a whole new ball game.
But it's been good. I have nothing but great things to say about it. We're still trying to dial it in. One concern that I always have with plant-based is enough protein. So, but we were, this dish that Terry cooked for late afternoon today was a tempeh dish.
It's like a lemon garlic tempeh, and I was just Googling, like you do, and it came up, and I thought, okay, these are the ingredients that I have. Every one of these ingredients, so this is what we're going to have. And you fried up the tempeh slices in coconut oil, and then you blanched some kale, which kind of sounds disgusting, but blanched kale. But that's what was in it, and then it had some fresh ginger root and lemon juice and a little stevia, and just, it was really garlic, of course.
Yeah.
But it was good. It didn't taste like, I don't know. It kind of did taste like chicken a little bit.
I thought it was like chicken strips was what it tasted like. And, another thing I think we may try is to put it in a vegetable, one of those vegetable contraptions, and throw it out on the grill and just see what that, because that's the thing is, with plant-based, especially if you're like me and don't like vegetables that much, it's the thought of, I just have to eat broccoli and cauliflower all the time. Not necessarily true, but you have to be adventuresome. And, I have to give Terry props for this about, trying this new stuff and looking around, because if you do the same old thing every day, I'm sure you're going to get tired of that.
You can only eat so many salads, although I know you enjoy salads, but I think that's what, I don't get full enough just with a salad. I don't know why. So I need a little something else. If you can throw some pumpkin seeds on it, raw nut, some kind of raw nut, or the chickpea, the little dried chickpea things that we've got. Those are good too.
That's something else we found is that, and no snacking. The other thing we're doing is just eating that noon meal and then eating again about 6 or 7, but not snacking in between. And, I caught myself the other night going over there and getting a handful, even though they were chickpeas. It was about 10 o'clock at night. And, it's...
And you stopped yourself.
I did. Thank you.
He went right to the cupboard, got it, dug his hand in, and then he turned around and looked. And I just looked up at the same time, and he's like, I don't need this. I don't need to do this. That was a big moment.
It was a big win because I was working on something and I just needed a little break, and I thought that would help me, and I did need it, and I felt better about it. But the good thing is I don't wake up lethargic in the mornings anymore. And of course, I'm just saying, habits have gotten so bad the last few months, was adding to it, eating heavy stuff, eating it late at night, and so that's a big contributor. The other thing we haven't done, that I'm going to the gym as soon as we get off of here, but haven't been into the gym in a couple months, and that's kind of killing me too. I want to get out. And do you remember those two people's names? We watched their YouTubes yesterday. It's okay. There's a couple.
Dr. Barnard?
Yeah. It was a couple good presentations on YouTube about this. Him and another one about talking about especially diabetics and the glucose that's built up in our muscles. And, I've talked about that with Terry prior. There would be times when, especially when I'm heavy, if I go work out in the backyard, I just feel like my muscles hurt. And so maybe that's got something to do with it. But anyway, I don't necessarily work out to lose weight, but I want to, work out for the physical activity to be healthy. I miss sweating, and, with the pandemic, and we've been really overloaded with podcasting here the last 3 or 4 months, that we just don't get out. And it's been winter too. We're kind of working out of that, but the days are fixing to be nice. We've got to make that conscious effort to get out and take those walks. It's good to clear my head, but also just to get up and move. We've got to get I think we have to get activity in as much as totally possible.
It is. I see a difference with you whenever we get out and have, even if we just have a few minutes, we'll take the dogs for a walk, or they'll take us for a drag sometimes is what it ends up being. But I notice a huge difference in whether you do that or not. And, it just brings another spring in your step.
Yeah.
It's another spring in your step.
Well, and the reality is I have felt so bad the last couple months, just weighed down, not feeling hot anyway, and then, just not feeling like a walk. So it's nice to kind of be feeling energetic again. But, I know. We were talking about protein, and so, that's a big concern with this is are we getting enough? And I don't know about all the digestive systems and how animals operate different, but one analogy somebody made was the elephant is the biggest mammal on Earth, and it's got a plant-based diet, so obviously there's enough protein. But I think we have to be careful where we're getting it, which is really cool with that tempeh that you cooked. Is, I think you said it was like 25 grams of protein. Yeah, and the other thing I think it's good to clarify at this point in the juncture is that we are not saying no meat ever again, never, ever in a million years. I think, Terry got hungry for a hamburger the other day, and I'm like, look, I'm not. So she was going out somewhere. I said, just pick you up a hamburger and eat it. You got to feel and don't feel, well, for us, don't feel like you can't do something. Do what you feel like. If we feel like we need to eat a piece of fish one day, we'll probably limit it to fish and try to do more of that. But we are keeping an open mind. That's the other thing I kind of probably fudge a little bit on from being total plant-based is, I still like my dressing on my salad, my ranch dressing. And I'm sure that's got some milk and eggs and a lot of other stuff in it. But, it's just an adaptation of trying to be pretty solid on the plant-based. So anyway, we'll see. I think the other big, unless you have anything else about that.
No, I was going to say I did not get a hamburger. I came back with Zoe's Kitchen.
Yep. Yeah, we had some.
Plant-based stuff, and that was good.
We had Mediterranean. Yeah, and it's good. That's the other thing I think that it's scary in the beginning of this is you think, okay, well, if we want to take a break and ever go out and eat, where would you go? Most restaurants you can order a veggie plate or do something, but the Zoe's was good. And,
It was good. They were very helpful.
Yeah.
But I do have to tell you, I do crave chocolate, but I am a chocoholic. I consider myself a chocoholic. So I need something sweet. I think I need something sweet. I don't know.
No. Well, and I haven't had that craving. And I think, for me, I'm all or nothing. If I try to eat a little bit of this or a little bit of that, then it's like I'll eat a lot of those. Whereas not having anything, I haven't felt the cravings to want the candy bar. I'm not going to say that there's been a couple nights when it would have been nice to have our bowl of popcorn as we were, watching the news or something like that. That's one thing we used to do. But again, it was drowned in salt and cheese. So we could have it. It's not that it's not plant-based, but trying not to eat it that late at night. I think if we had it during the day would be perfectly fine. But again, now it's like, I know I'm eating 2 meals. I want to have a good, healthy,
make sure you
full
get your
meal. Yeah.
fill.
Yeah. But anyway, the other thing we wanted to touch on quickly is Reiki. Reiki. Yeah. So I've never done that. I've never even been for a massage, so I don't know much about it. But Terry actually went for her first session this week, and it's cool because the young lady, the practitioner, she's very highly educated and been through a lot of the training and the mentorship that they have to go through. But she happens to be a friend of Terry's daughter as well. So there's a cool connection.
Yeah, so I've known her for a long time growing up. She went to high school with my oldest daughter, and she, no questions were off base or out of the realm of where she was going. But, the whole energy thing, I've kind of stayed away from it because I know a little bit about energies, but not enough to ask any intelligent questions, I didn't think.
Yeah.
And I'm glad that we called and talked to Peyton, because she really answered a lot of questions and made it not such a huge deal. It's like, okay, this is what's going to happen, and maybe you'll see some colors while your eyes are closed, and maybe you won't. You'll feel some heat, maybe you won't. It doesn't matter. Everything's okay. And I did. I felt a lot of heat. I did.
Interesting.
And I couldn't see what she was doing because I had a little thing over my eyes, a cover over my eyes. But I felt heat wherever she was putting her hands. I could imagine. I think that's what it was. And it was really a cool situation. And I've had many massages, and I have always loved that. And I felt like I did after I had a massage, because there was no massage technique in it. I mean, there were pressure points, but I felt as I just felt a release of toxins
Tension and stuff.
tension and all of that.
Well, I'm going this next Thursday, and so I'm excited because I've never done anything like that. And, we're going to give it a chance and give it a few times. But the great thing is, too, Peyton has agreed to be on the show. So what we're going to do is have her come on. I think she's going to let us both get through it, and then she's going to come on and be a guest so we can talk about it. Again, we don't want to present one main view and say this is for everybody, because everything is not. Everybody's individual. Sometimes it's our personality, sometimes it's our place in life, sometimes it's our underlying medical condition. A lot of things make us go in different directions, but I think the thing, what I would hope would come out of the show the most is that everybody can find something healthy to do, and you just have to do a little research on it, and like I said, seek out professional help and guidance in making sure that it's right for you.
And yeah, make sure that it's right for you is the key, and trying to attain the balance between your energy, your diet, everything.
Yeah.
It's so important, and it's just whatever is customized towards you. It's not our way isn't the highway. I mean, our way is what we're doing at the present moment to get healthier, and
not to say that we may do this for a while and find it unsustainable
might
or
find
change.
something else.
Yeah.
Somebody else could come on and we'll be like, hey, we might want to try that out. That's how it is.
Yeah. But I think right now, with all the evidence that I've seen, not only on high blood pressure, diabetes
reversal,
the inflammation, our brain health. I mean, there's
and
so many things.
Hypothyroidism. I have been on thyroid medication for a long time. It's the same. It's the same thing. It just touched on everything.
Yeah.
That is with us.
Yeah, and it's well worth. We're not going to be heavy research based. We may present some stuff, I guess, but I just recommend everybody reach out and try to find these YouTube videos and just see for yourself. That's all you can do. But one thing we're going to do is try to do these spots. Hopefully, we'll try to start doing these once a week on Thursday released, and still, have our professionals and our guests that come on release on Tuesday, and then we'll release a little shorter episode Thursdays, just, what's going on. And, we want to keep what we're doing in front of people. It may be something that, somebody else ends up trying. And you can also reach out. We've got a Facebook group. We just don't have much activity over there. We've never really pushed that a lot, but reach out on Facebook and start a conversation. We'd love to have it if, we want to hear what's working for everybody. And as we go through this journey, of course, we want to find out new and different things about plant-based and things that, could help us tremendously as well. Anyway, I guess unless you have anything else, that's all I've got. We're excited.
Yeah, this is really good. No, I don't. I mean, I think this is good.
Yeah. All right, and you may have heard the dogs
and
chewing on a bone in the background.
Maybe we'll feed them between now and then, because they're telling us it's time.
Yeah, and this will be a lot. I think with guests, we always want to be a little more professional and have a better atmosphere. But I think these little talks with us, you may hear or see dogs in the background. It's going to be a lot less formal, just more of a conversation about what we've got going on. All right, well, if that's it, that's going to do it for us. All right. You can find us, of course, at www.feedingfatty.com. We're on all the major social media networks. Go over, check out our Facebook group if you've got something that you want to say. We're also on Instagram. Be glad to interact over there. Send us your pictures. We love pictures about dishes and recipes and things like that. Always helpful. So until next time. Oh, also major podcast platforms, Stitcher, Google, iTunes, Spotify. Go over, check us out. Share, give us a good rating, send to your friends, tell everybody. We'd like to, we want everybody that needs to be touched by this show touched by it. So